Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to another edition of the Toxic Happy Hour, where we are toxic towards scams that delay the adoption of global sound money. Today we go kind of like emergency live because there's another big announcement this morning that cannot be overstated how important it is. So we decided to go live once again without much preparation to discuss what is happening right now in the land of Bitcoin. And I can see Pedro in the chat. Jesus Christ, BTC Moon Guy is there again. Every single time our brother here is on. And Pedro, you like that it hasn't even started yet. Thanks for always your support, Pedro. Totally love it. Puppy, let's give the word to you. So, what are you having today? What are you drinking? Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, a little bit later in the evening was finished up some dinner, but still finished up. I had a nice little Bordeaux earlier, so a little red wine for Puppy.
It sounds good. So let's talk about what happened. Yeah. And I'm gonna find the tweet and throw it on the screen. This is we really rushed to get live now. I wasn't able to go before. Now I had something I had to do, but here we are. So MicroStrategy announced this morning. I woke up to the news. Obviously, I woke up 5 hours after New York opens and press releases go out for listed companies. But they're selling another round of convertible bonds, which I believe is $600 million. In order to buy more Bitcoin. And the last time they did this was early December when Bitcoin was around $21,000. Now it's about $48,000, $49,000, $50,000. We went above 50, the last 12 hours, quickly above, came back down. And so once again, they're basically doing an attack on a dirty fiat United States, diluting currency by selling debt in that, which is going to dilute in value, and purchasing Bitcoin that's going to go up in value. Poppy, why don't you let's have your take on it, man?
Michael Saylor goes from Giga Chad to Terra Chad. I don't even know what's left to do for this guy. He basically just smacks everyone in the face, and he goes more balls deep into Bitcoin. Love it. I mean, fuck. I mean, the guy is on a mission, and I said I'm rethinking my strategy. Now I just buy and stack some SaaS until he buys the other 20+ million Bitcoin in the world. He's coming for your Bitcoin. The guy is an animal. I don't know what else to say. He gets it. He gets it. He's going all in, and he's going to front run all the best minds, all the best companies in the world. He's going to get there first.
Yeah, he's Elon Musk with Tesla started their first not toe dipping. They bought $1.5 billion. I mean, considering the fact that Tesla needs also a lot of liquidity for that very fast growth they're going in, like building new factories and everything, they pretty much allocated, I think, Tesla what they could. But before Apple and Amazon and Facebook and all the other known and unknown companies start allocating reserves from their balance sheet that is being diluted away like ice cubes in the sun, Michael Saylor goes out and buys more Bitcoin in front of them. He's front running the big guns. He's confident. As Taproot Uvas from the chat is saying, Michael Saylor seems confident. He absolutely is. He has conviction. He did the homework. And once you've done the homework on Bitcoin, it's really not difficult, in my opinion. And the same with Puppy. Like, do the research, and the answer is obvious. Bitcoin will take over as money of the world. Buying it at 50,000 is ridiculously cheap compared to the 20 million we're going to. Now I'll breathe and give the word to you.
No, check this out, man. At the end of the day, he could become. Not many people think about this. I don't know. I'm not sure he's ego-driven. Michael Saylor may become the richest man in the world. He is getting in before everyone that you think of, like your Bill Gates and Elon Musk, Bezos. You think of these richest men in the world. Guess what? By doing this, this guy could be the richest man in the world within 1 year. Think about that.
I mean, except Satoshi, right? That has apparently like mined a million coin early on. But no, you're right. Look, his accumulation,
he's crushing it. Yeah.
Yeah. However, the Winklevi twins, they bought more than 1% of outstanding Bitcoin. So they have like a bit more than 210,000. If you split it in two, they're two persons. They have a bit more than 100,000 each. Michael Saylor is now, well, he was at 70,000 Bitcoin in the company, of which he owns a certain share. Then he's got his private stash, I think, of 10,000 Bitcoin or 20,000, 19,000. Yeah, so he's absolutely, he's hitting it out the ballpark. He's not waiting for the FANG companies and the other big companies to wake up. This is game theory playing out now. It is a rush.
Yeah, it is.
Whoever enters first, they get the better price. And this is corporate FOMO. Corporate FOMO.
And remember, the first time he had done this, I think it was 75 basis points. I mean, it is free money. 75 basis points for him to take 600 million out in a loan over 5 years on Bitcoin. It's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, and the way, as you're saying, he gets this ridiculously low interest rate. I haven't looked at the actual announcement yet. We just wanted to go live. I'm guessing that he's paying even less basis points, like a smaller interest rate now, because the last round in early December was oversubscribed. He could do this at 0% interest rate. I think this is what Preston Pish says, and I agree with him, because there's a lot of money sitting out there not being allowed to buy Bitcoin through the charters that they have to follow, or the regulations, and also they cannot necessarily buy MicroStrategy stock, but they're allowed to buy bonds. And these bonds, although they may give zero return, can be converted to MicroStrategy stocks, which gives them the upside of Bitcoin. So if you can only buy bonds, but you really want to buy Bitcoin, this is the way to do it. You buy the bonds, they're converted to stock. If Bitcoin has gone up, that stock has gone through the roof, and you get that profit. So yeah, this is, and what do you have words on that? You have a cough there. Are you okay, or?
Yeah, had a cough there. Also have my San Pellegrino. No, I mean, what words are left for Michael Saylor, man? The guy has been there, from the beginning. He said what he was going to do. He bought what he's going to buy, and he tells you about it every step of the way. The dude nails it. I don't know. There's nothing left to say. He walks the walk, man. As we talked about that. The dude's a giga chad. What else is there left for him to do? I'm just going to sit back. I'll stack my little sats in the corner and watch him take Bitcoin to the moon. I mean, he's got the rocket ship in a wheelbarrow. He's pushing the wheelbarrow faster than the rocket ship is going.
Right.
It's stunning. It's stunning to watch.
And what's important to note is that the reason he can do this now is, back early December, he took on enough convertible bond debt in the company that he maxed out that debt to equity ratio that he could, that people are willing to, lend him money. They want to have some free equity in that. So you got debt to equity, maybe, I don't know if it's like half or 50%. So, but this extremely bullish thing in this is that, because he's never going to stop doing this, when his equity, his stock price goes up, which goes up because Bitcoin goes up, because he's holding a lot of Bitcoin, because he bought a lot of Bitcoin. So when his stock price goes up, which happens when the price of Bitcoin goes up, then his debt, which is here, and then his equity is here. Equity goes through the roof. All of a sudden, his debt to equity ratio drops from, say, 50% to 20%. I don't know exact numbers, but this is like, the general principle. So when his debt to equity ratio means how much debt he has compared to the market cap of the company. And when that goes down from 50 to 20 or whatever, he again can leverage up and sell another 30% convertible bonds, like 30% debt compared to the market cap. So as he continues to do this, and this is what I was stressing also back when we had Preston Pish on in January with Pierre Rochard, great episode, by the way. I recommend going back and checking that out. Those two guys are smart. So what we have here is that Michael Saylor himself, through MicroStrategy, with MicroStrategy, can continue to leverage up, sell convertible bonds, buy more Bitcoin, see the price of Bitcoin go up, and then do the same thing again, sell more convertible bonds, take more debt on, because now they have more equity because their stock went up, because Bitcoin went up. And the big difference here between yes sir, we got Knut Svenholm. Knut in the house. Guys? Welcome. Hey, I'll just finish this train of thought, and then let's give the floor to Knut. So the reason why I'm very bullish about this is when you leverage this way, convertible bonds and buy Bitcoin, and the stock goes up, if there's a price correction in Bitcoin, you can never be forced to sell. You cannot be stopped out. There is no long squeeze ever going to happen like it's done for so many private people leveraging on for instance, BitMEX. That will never come back on the market if the price corrects. That is a very important thing. What is secondly, I think, extremely important is that MicroStrategy doing this takes Bitcoin off the market, pushes the price higher. Once we have a couple of companies doing this thing, selling convertible bonds, buying Bitcoin, pushing up the price, that helps other companies to do the same, and then it trickles up. Yes, Knut, thank you so much for joining. We love to have you on. You're one of our favorite guests, and definitely in the chat. What's your take on what's going on here?
First of all, I'm still working, so I might have to leave this quite abruptly.
It's okay.
Like right now. So I'll be back in a minute.
You come back in.
See you later.
We're here for you, baby. we always have time for a Bitcoin enthusiast that is as smart as Knut and can play the guitar, sound like Beatles with his own made Bitcoin songs that he's written himself. We got to get him on. We got to get him on the guitar again. But Puppy, I keep talking because I'm super bullish. But what do you think about this fact that, because right now we have only one company in the world doing this. If you have more and they can inch up the price, then the other one now can take on more debt, inch up the price, and then another one take on more debt. And you have a vicious cycle that none of us kind of foresaw 12 months ago. And welcome back, Knut.
Yeah, just to jump in real quick. Just to jump in real quick on that. Knut, so you're talking about this vicious cycle of companies able to sort of in a way leverage and step ladder up when it comes to Bitcoin. And Saylor is just going next level on us. So yeah, what do you think of what's going on right now?
I think it's fascinating. I have popcorn right here.
Nice.
Just watching popcorn for the Bitcoin price. This game theoretical prisoner's dilemma is starting to play out, and the sooner these dinosaurs realize that they need to hop onto this train, they will all. There's a mass. How shall I put this? Mass realization event coming up, I think,
Yeah.
And when that happens, it will be a stampede. It has to be, because like if you hop on the train too late, you will pay a higher price. And so it's sort of obvious, and it's just a matter of time before they realize what they need to do. Maybe they've already figured it out, and they're just reading up on all the stuff that Michael and MicroStrategy have already shared of how to custody the Bitcoin and everything. Maybe they want to do a bit of research first. Did you see the segment on CSNBC? I believe it was. What's the station called? Where
CNBC?
CNBC? Yeah. Where the guy said it's like, imagine everything in financial markets divided by 21 million.
Yes.
Go Knut!
He really said that.
Yes.
American national TV.
Yes.
Yeah,
you made it,
baby.
Knut, you made it.
We're doing
I watched that.
Yeah.
I was watching it, Knut, and I thought of you instantly. And to me, to them, to watch them, they're still incredulous. They still don't get it. They still don't understand it.
They're so close, though.
Yeah.
Of course, I replied with a video, and I retweeted the thing with the video attached, the everything divided by 21 million thing, and my Twitter feed has been crazy.
I'm sure, man.
Yeah. Are you getting the credit for that, Knut? Are you getting the credit on CNBC for being the guy that came up with it, or are they
not on
acknowledging it in the tweets?
But on Twitter, on Bitcoin Twitter, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Knut, the thing that excites me, I was talking about it. Sorry?
I have to pinch myself. Is this really?
How does it feel when your ideas make it into mainstream? Two-ball classic. That's a classic.
Cheers.
Two-ball classic.
Cheers.
Yeah, I rushed on here. How does it feel, Knut, that your idea has made it into mainstream TV channel on the biggest probably TV market in the world, or pop culture? How does it feel?
Awesome, of course. I'm not sure though that I can take the credit for that CNBC clip. I mean, he said something along similar lines as what I said, but.
No, So I was listening, and he basically said, "Imagine taking everything in the world and dividing it by 21 million." That was roughly what he said.
Basically, what he said, yeah.
Yes, so he didn't have the exact dollar amount, but it's absolutely true. Take the entire value of the world and divide it by 21 million, and this is where we're going. And it's still, what kills me is there's just a lack of research and basic understanding from them. Okay, it's just to this day. I mean, something that goes an asset class that goes from $0 to $50,000 over 12 years, and the lack of understanding is mind blowing. That they wouldn't do their due diligence.
Yeah, but that's because they're traders, and traders aren't that bright. Unfortunately, I think that there's like research that has shown that the median level of IQ for really wealthy, successful traders is around 111, which is not genius by a stretch. It's just slightly above average. So you're smart enough to make your moves, but you're not smart enough to critically analyze them or to go to delve deeper. And I think this is what that basically explains the whole thing. I mean, these guys, they look at the numbers and they see, this stock is going here, this paper here is going, the Bitcoin is going there, and blah blah blah. And very interesting. But did you actually look into any of these things? What they actually do? Have you done the research on electrical cars? And did you know that Tesla battery costs about 50% of the cost of the entire car after 4 years? Like, why is the stock going up? Are you aware that Spotify has not made a profitable year at all at this point? Like, it's all like shitcoins basically. They're it's the bigger fool thing most traders go for, and for these technical analysis and like fortune telling bullshit.
Right.
But
Knut,
and they're so close. Like imagine all financial assets divided by 21 million. That's so close to what this thing is about.
Yeah, Bitcoin really is a no-brainer, but you got to do the research. You got to look at the fundamentals. Knut, I would like your opinion on the fact that, you know, like MicroStrategy doing this means taking a lot of Bitcoin off the market. But so far, it's only one company, and it's a company that most of us never heard of before he came into Bitcoin. What if more companies start doing this? Sell convertible bonds, attack the dirty fiat, put it under pressure, then turn around and buy Bitcoin. And once you have more than one, because right now it's only MicroStrategy. Tesla bought Bitcoin, but that was with money they already had. They didn't do this actual attack with convertible bonds on dirty fiat to buy more Bitcoin. Once we have a couple of companies doing that, each of them can push up the price and then make, because the debt to equity then falls for the others, they can again step in, push it higher, and that way we have in my opinion, a never-ending, like forever pump, the never-ending bull run taking us to everything divided by 21 million.
Yeah, in a J shape. Anyway, they haven't really done that extra buy yet, though. MicroStrategy, they only announced the thing, right?
I
believe they have around 17,000 Bitcoin at the moment, 17.5 or something like that.
I have so the announcement from MicroStrategy, I have it right here. This is from Michael Saylor. This is the tweet this morning that I woke up to, where he says MicroStrategy announces proposed private offering of $600 million of convertible senior notes, which and let me click to the actual announcement. Do we have that on the screen or not? Or did that start I think that started let me just remove that, and because I need to that opened another tab. I have to take that in. But we know that each time, previously when Michael Saylor did this, the last time, he finds Bitcoin to be the best place to put his convertible bonds note. I mean, do we have any indication that it's not exactly the same thing he will do again?
No, he'll probably do it. I just finished watching all the 9 episodes. There will be one more, I think, but of the Saylor series where Robert Breedlove interviews him. I had the pleasure of having 2 conversations with Robert this week. First on Swan Signal Live, and then with Daniel Prince the other day. Prince. One of the best pod episodes I ever did. So check that one out. I really enjoyed that talk.
The one-on-one spitting by our friend Daniel Prince.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, I'm warming up because apparently on Monday, February 22nd, I'm in the shoot. I'm ready to go for Daniel Prince. One spitting.
Oh, excellent.
Pubby.
Which day, Puppy?
Monday, February 22nd. Pubby's going. I'm going down into the shoot, and I get to hang out with Daniel.
It's
an hour. He's a great guy. Great guy. Yeah,
we're doing a joint effort here to try to get our asses to Miami too. Like, so we're trying to book a gig or get a free ticket or a refundable ticket or whatever.
Dude, Knut, you should be giving a song, like a show with your songs. Look, that would be the highlight of Bitcoin 2021. I just want to say also that, so I also have the pleasure to go on Daniel's podcast. I think we're recording the 2nd of March. And if I'm not mistaken, Daniel also want to do one with both of us together, Puppy.
Yeah, listen, man, he's going to do good cop, bad cop on us. You divide them first, and then you have them come together for a show, and then you talk about what the other one said about the other. I know his MO. I got it.
Yeah. And you had him on, so
yeah, he's been on a few times. Hey, you gotta come to Miami, man. Miami will be a party. Stefan Livera is going to try to be there. You know, he's on a show a week ago. He's going to try to be there. Benny BTC said Stefan Livera, he'll be down there. He's trying to escape Australia, of course, with their draconian laws. Man, it will be fantastic. You got to get there.
Yeah,
I sort of have to. My dream scenario is that they book me to play the "Fuck You Money" song, and I get up on stage and I play that for 1.5 minutes, and then I go to the pub.
That is what we want. But yeah, Stefan Livera and BTC Sessions are gonna do some pre-conference karaoke or something. I absolutely hate singing because I'm so terrible. But I will be there for those guys. I think that's going to be a fun event. And for anyone who didn't buy the tickets yet, if you're interested, we have a link. We don't make commission, but you save 21% if you pay with dirty fiat to the Bitcoin Conference 2021 in Miami, June 4 and 5. I found in the meantime, while we were talking, this is the actual press release. And let's see what it says. It's saying that $600 million, and there's a lot of text here. So you know what? That we're not gonna read it live here. That's gonna bore you guys and everyone watching. But I think I have personally no doubt that he's gonna put the money where he thinks they're best fit. I don't think he changed his mind in 2.5 months since he did the last 650 million. This is so bullish. But Knut, so if he does buy Bitcoin, which we presume, or I presume, Puppy presume, imagine when more companies are doing this and they can each push up, you know, the price a little bit, which means that equity, the debt to equity ratio goes down for others. So they again can send more convertible notes, and they can never be stopped out. This is not like when private people leverage buying a Bitcoin.
But these billion-dollar companies, they can still leapfrog us by by a mile here. But it doesn't really matter because. If you have one Bitcoin at this point, you're set for life. I believe that. If you can hodl that Bitcoin for like 5 years, probably at this point, I think you'll be a very wealthy person. I have to answer a question from the audience here.
Absolutely.
Are your meatballs freshwater meatballs or saltwater meatballs? As we all know, meatballs swim in schools, and they catch them with big meatball trawlers, sometimes dredge trawlers, and I prefer brackwater meatballs, actually, which have a bit of both, a bit of sweetness and a bit of saltiness to them. That's my kind of balls.
Awesome. Look, the chat for us is everything. This interaction with the chat, and there's nothing better when a guest is also paying attention. Best chat in this space. We love it. Thanks for that, Knut. So I agree. If you have one full Bitcoin, you're gonna be extremely wealthy and financially independent 5 years from now, likely. Even less will be doable. Do you have an end target? Like of purchasing power value you see of one Bitcoin, everything divided by 21 million?
What's that question? Is it like the time frame before that happens?
Yeah, well, let's say Bitcoin takes over as money of the world. What will be the buying power of one Bitcoin?
Oh, that's impossible to say. Like, everything divided by 21 million is an impossible equation. But I think a lot of people will have to die off before that really starts taking off in absurd terms. It will be weird. The next 5 years will be weird, and the 5 years after that will be absurd, and after that it's just a completely different planet we're living on. It's like, it's akin to the birth of the internet. Like, the internet took off in 95, 96. That's when it sort of started, and Bitcoin started in 2009, 2010, and we're 10 years past that. So we're in comparison to internet terms, we're like around the year 2000. There's no Facebook yet. There's no Twitter yet. There's no YouTube yet. Like that era.
Ellen Strike. I think Ellen Strike is the foundation for something great. Sorry, Pubby, I'll give you the word afterwards. But Ellen Strike, isn't that like a big deal?
It is. I think there's. I'm not too. I haven't read up too much about it. It certainly looks interesting. I think there's some shitcoinery going around in the background there.
I don't think so. Let me quickly explain what it is. So if I have this Strike app on my phone, which I do, and let's say you have the Strike app on your phone as well.
Yeah, I know how it. Yeah, I know what it does. I just don't know how it works under the hood.
They're using Lightning Network and then they have a deal with, I think it's Bittrex, which has all fiat currencies or something. So me sending you 10 US cents, you will receive like 90 Swedish euro.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They still have a deal with a shitcoin casino, or also called a Bitcoin exchange, which is not, or a crypto exchange. So while just got off a call with Jack Mallers. What is he saying then?
Yeah, that is
he would be a better person to answer this question than me, definitely.
Meme legend RDBTC, and I think he has been hired by Jack Mallers to start doing memes in the name of what was it? Not just Strike, but I can't remember. Something's related with Strike. Puppy, the word to you.
No, Jack Mallers is on the short list of some of the folks we want to have on here. But yeah, Canute, when he's on here, man, jump on in, man. We'll have a great conversation. I think it'd be fantastic because I have the same questions that you do. Absolutely.
When?
Oh,
we don't know yet. Usually this turns on a dime.
All right.
RD
this
says
turns on a dime here.
RD says
when are you having Jack Mallers on?
Well, we don't know yet. We talk big, and then the next day we have them.
It's not up to us. It's not up to us. Let me put it that way. If Jack Mallers want to come on, he's here. If Michael Saylor wants to come on, he's here. Like, these dudes, we'd love to have them on, but you know, it's not necessarily up to us, that decision.
No, but it might be up to RD, right? RD, get Jack Mallers on this show.
RD can make it happen.
Yeah.
So
if anyone can, RD can.
I'll just say this, man. What a year for and I consider it still 2020, the Michael Saylor effect. We never ever could have anticipated this type of entrance by any not only company but persona. The persona that he brings into this has changed the course of Bitcoin forever. He is truly in a different league. If there's a hall of like presidents or a pantheon, the guy's up there. He just brings it every month there's something new, a new buy, a new something, and I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Check out the Saylor series. He's a really good thinker.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I have been like ever since Saylor did the last convertible bonds, $650 million at early December, I think it was, or late November. I have been saying, okay, so when the next MicroStrategy convertible bonds? And now we have the answer that I don't know if this means he can do it at every time Bitcoin goes up by 30,000, or if whenever the price of Bitcoin has gone up a bit more than double. But it's probably not the last, because if Bitcoin price goes up as we believe, and he's helping then this positive cycle, then he can take on more debt and do it again the same way.
Yeah, he makes what 50 million a year is his company, the regular amount that he pulls down.
Yeah.
I guarantee if it was up to him, he would put every part of that into Bitcoin. Look, he's got to pay off, pay his employees, got to pay off all the regular working capital stuff. But I'll tell you this, that guy, he's all in, and when you have that as your spokesperson that goes on to CNBC, and he can tell them, remember that first 425 million, he had dollar cost averaged in at $11,000 Bitcoin, man. That guy, he's got the street cred behind him. So you've got, and we talked about this yesterday with the guys from what the fuck happened in 1971. You have a guy that a CFO or CEO goes into their boardroom and says, yeah, well, there's this guy, Michael Saylor. This is back in August. And he basically has doubled his money since then. He went all in on Bitcoin. Yeah. To now they go in and say, well, now Elon Musk bought $150 billion of Bitcoin. So you go from a guy that's on the fringe to who is probably the guy that's the leading entrepreneur in the world. That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful that you can go in. I'm just waiting. I think everyone is now scrambling to figure out how they do it, and people make it stupid. When I say stupid, like stupid buying, not waiting, not buying just a minimum. You're gonna find some stupid buys this year. 2021. I'm just gonna sit back, sip on my Bordeaux here, and enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the show. Yeah. Let's see. We dinged 50K today.
Yeah, and we hit it.
Yeah. There will be a day soon now where we'll never see Bitcoin below 50K ever again.
Yep.
And there will be a day where we won't see it below 100K, and on and on it goes. It's the snowball.
I want to share another screenshot with you guys, because we just spoke about the 50 million. Now let me just sorry, not 50 million. We spoke about the 50,000. So I don't do technical analysis because I'm not capable on that. And I think that when you have a halving cycle, it absolutely overrides short-term technical analysis. I'm not saying you can't use it on equity stocks, but it does not make sense to use it on something that has an emission schedule that goes in this 4-year cycle. So I just want to show you guys this here. So yeah, Knut hates it, but let me explain it, Knut. What we have here is this green line that I drew. Basically was so when we had the halving, I put the beginning of the line, and then I put the end of the line at 200,000 at the end of this year. So if we follow this line, the price would be 200,000 by the end of this year. But right now, we do seem to be steeper.
Yeah, that's a nice little green arrow you drew there.
I knew Knut was gonna hate it, man.
No, but I'm not into that whole trading thing. I don't really get it. I spend my time thinking about completely different things than that. So
yeah,
we can speculate. We can hope for things to play out slowly or a little faster. I don't know. I'm unsure on what I'm hoping for. Part of me just want to get shit rich overnight and get the fuck out of everything. But then again, I think too fast a transition can lead to a more turbulent transition period, and maybe this should take a little longer. I'm not sure which side I'm on, because while it might be turbulent for the fast scenario, it might also be better in a way, because it will be so undeniable and so obvious to everyone that this is way better than everything we've tried ever before. I'm not sure. I'm sure that if we the worst case scenario is if we if we didn't have Bitcoin at all, of course, and that would also turn to violence sooner or later, and that would be worse because there's no life raft for anyone. But now we have a life raft, and it might be like we might survive the Titanic hitting the iceberg and going down in terms of global economy going to shit. Yeah, because we have life rafts that actually work. Yeah.
Hang on, answer that question, because we loosely throw the terms around game theory. I always do. I know a bit about Professor Nash, and you study.
Yeah.
For the people here, what's a quick elevator pitch, like a minute 2 pitch, on what game theory is, and sort of how it would potentially play out here? Because a lot of people hear game theory all the time, but they don't really understand sort of what it means. So how would you explain it quickly?
Game theory is like mathematical models for predicting what a perfectly rational player would do in a theoretical game scenario. And the prisoner's dilemma, which is the like one of the foundational game theoretical theories that Bitcoin builds upon, is like you have player A and player B, and player A and the players have two things to do, like not buy Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. And in scenario A, both players don't buy Bitcoin, and none of them get rich. In like in another corner, you have only player A buying Bitcoin and him getting shit rich, and player B being left out. And what's most beneficial for both players is to both play to both buy Bitcoin at some point. This is a very crude sketch of the prisoner's dilemma. It comes from like should you it's sort of like a witness scenario, if you should blame the other guy or not. And
yes.
The optional move is that both of them tell the truth, or like anyway, there are game theoretical models to explain all these things, how this works, and the incentive structure for the miners is built upon that, and so on. That the whole system is built upon a belief that people will act in their own self-interest.
Yeah.
So it's more profitable for a miner to play by the rules than it is to cheat. And that's what differentiates it from so many other systems.
Yes.
So this, because it's very easy to verify that a hash is what it says it is, but it's very, very hard to forge it, or very, very expensive to forge it.
So to build on that point, Knut, you're saying about how game theory in Bitcoin works. So the whole Bitcoin system with the miners and the coders and everything is built in a way. So if everyone does what is exactly best for them, then Bitcoin works. We don't need to trust anyone to, yes, they will do the right thing. No, it's built in a way so everyone have an incentive to do what's best for them, and Bitcoin works.
There's another layer there. They also have to believe that the other players in the system will do that too. And they do believe that because it's the best thing to do for them. If you follow me, like so it's sort of layered.
All right, sorry, let me put that back on. While you read that, or while we read, I didn't read it yet. I just throw stuff on the screen without reading it necessarily. But
it's basically the same thing we said.
Okay. And now I obviously forgot my point that I wanted to make. But no. All right, here. While I remember, Knut, so the thing you said about you don't want it to go too fast because, you know, what if we have like civil war and you know, riots and violence? But I remember someone said on a pod, and I don't remember who it is, and it annoys me because it's really, really, I think, a great point. That person believed that we won't go through violence to make it to a Bitcoin standard, because normally when these resets happen, you have to go through the Great Depression because everyone loses everything almost, right? But now we have the new system ready. We have the life wrap of this current you know, tsunami of bad, you know, government debt, etc., you know, central banks. But the life Bitcoin is ready now as the solution, so everyone can transition whenever they're ready to take own a piece of the future, and therefore it may not get violent. I hope it's true.
Yeah. When the Soviet Union fell, that transition period was comparatively pretty non-violent, a lot less violent than people thought it would be, and probably because they already had shitty lives in the Soviet Union when it happened, so it could only be better and improved by scrapping the old system. And I don't believe we're there yet. Like our lives in general across the globe are way better than they were for the poor people of the Soviet Union, who had to stand in line for 6 hours in order to get a McDonald's burger when they opened the first McDonald's in the country. A fascinating video clip on YouTube about from when they opened up the first McDonald's in Russia. But yeah, like I said, it's hard to predict the future. You should be careful when doing that. But if Bitcoin works, this is what Bitcoin does. It divides everything by 21 million eventually, because that's the obvious move to make when you see it.
So when you see someone like Michael Saylor come in and admits that he will never sell for 100 years, and then you see a speculative attack. When you see companies, look, Apple has enough cash on hand that they don't need for 10 years. They could also do a speculative attack. Does that push your time frame of Bitcoin ever becoming a medium of exchange down the road? Does it say, look, it could easily just be bought up by the big guns and just used as a store of value, because they finally realize that the CPI is a bunch of bullshit. They see 2% is a lie. It's closer to 20%.
Yeah. I'm not sure that it needs to be a medium of exchange in the traditional sense at all.
Thank you.
I think that narrative is so wrong and so so weird. It doesn't need to be. Like if you have something that you can like you have a life a life insurance policy is quite expensive. A pension fund is quite expensive. Like if you have a bunch of money and you need to put it somewhere, that can be very expensive if you put it in the wrong place. But now when we have Bitcoin, there's a right place to do all this. There's a right thing to invest all these things in. So it's not.
But
like you may be touching your stack once a lifetime. That's like enough. It can improve your life immensely while still never moving.
But
really,
I really want to challenge this, and I know you guys are both in the same boat here. You say you buy Bitcoin, you hold it forever, you don't touch it. But when gold was money, it was the only money. The only reason we had silver to use in place was because it was hard to subdivide gold. And so Bitcoin will be the only money as far as I see it.
I don't like the gold analogy very much either.
Okay. But tell me,
again,
Knut,
we have the Lightning Network, and if there will be ever, if Bitcoin will ever be used as a medium of exchange in a proper sense of the word, it will be via solutions like the Lightning Network, and that works perfectly fine. It's very smooth, and like I like it a lot. But
then we agree. Then we agree, because that is still Bitcoin. It's Satoshis in there. Essentially, it's Bitcoin. So it's still Bitcoin that we use for payment. I agree. Lightning Network will highly likely be the medium of exchange solution for Bitcoin, but it's Bitcoin that is within it.
Okay. Let me try to explain. Say you're in your 30s. You get a kid. You start a family. You buy a house. That house goes up in value because of money printer go brr. It should go down in value, but it goes up. Anyway, this is where you have stored the value of whatever money you had at the time, and like so, a couple of years go by, and the house you own minus the loan is minus the mortgage is worth something. It's your little piece of wealth that you have if you start from scratch and you try to accomplish something in life. So now you have a house. If you were able to sell microscopic parts of the house one at a time for no fee, would you do it, or would you just keep the house? Like imagine that you had a Lightning Network for houses, so you could sell microscopic parts of bricks and walls and your kitchen and whatever, frictionless.
So
would you do that?
Are you saying that the supermarket will accept bits and pieces of your house? Because I don't think so. Bitcoin will be the standard for what value is.
No. I'm saying that it doesn't matter, because why would you want to sell your Bitcoin? If you have anything else to sell, you would sell it before you sell your Bitcoin. That's the point.
Agree.
So if you have another medium of exchange, you use that instead of the Bitcoin.
I agree. And this is Gresham's law, where the weaker money is pushed out by the stronger money. So let's go through that. That is necessary.
Also Tier's law, which is the opposite of Gresham's law.
I don't know it, but I want to discuss what you're saying, because my point is that when you have used whatever, you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. I get it, but guess what? In the end, there is only Bitcoin. There will be no Swedish crowns. There'll be no dollar. There's only Bitcoin in the end. And when that is the case, you have used all the other. How are you going to pay in the supermarket with Lightning Network, right?
No. There will not only be Bitcoin. There will be like, do you foresee a future without trading card games or comic books, for instance?
Yeah, but they're not money.
They can be used as money, and I'd rather sell a comic book than I'd sell a Bitcoin. That still holds.
So let's go through that train of thought. That means for all your purchases, you'll be using everything else, not your Bitcoin. In the end, you have sold all your cards. But I will push back on that and say yes, collectible
like
items. Collectible items can be used for storing value, but it's not money. You cannot pay with your collectible
Anders,
card.
I'm sort of playing the devil's advocate here. I don't really know what my opinion about this is, but it has gotten my brain going, and I like arguing for the other side, just for the sake of argument. And I guess there is a point to it, because like.
Listen, let me jump in here for a minute, because I understand the Danes and the Swedes. I mean, you guys get into these heated arguments. Okay, I'll be the voice of reason here. I know. I mean, there's a fine line. No, no, Anders, I understand exactly. Yeah, right. I'm in Knut's camp when it comes to. It is a total store of value right now. You don't need it for anything else. I understand it.
I agree.
I understand. Get it totally. What you have to explain is, why would you ever get rid? You're talking about something you agree that goes up in value. I think there's a middle level of, gosh, what would you say? Just you could tie any kind of token or shitcoin and pretend it's Bitcoin, and you're going to find that in the future. At the end of the day,
and are you? So first of all, let me say, Knut, I love the fact that your brain attacks the narrative and argues for the other side. Like, this is how we get somewhere. So don't think like I enjoy this. All right. So let's establish that. But Pubby, so you're
merit.
Yeah. So, Pubby, what you're talking about is there'll be other shitcoins. Will you accept another shitcoin like US dollars for your salary? What will you get for salary? What will you accept for salary?
Anders, we still live in these systems where we have salaries and we have taxes and we have prices and we have this and that. That can all change. And that all needs to change before we can even start thinking about using Bitcoin legally all around the world. There are different jurisdictions, and it's like right now, almost all countries have some form of regulations or taxes or something on this thing. So and on top of that, it's not worth it to sell your Bitcoin, because you know they're going up the next day. But this is the beauty of the system. It really turns us into non-consumerist robot. We're consumerist culture now, but we won't even buy Christmas presents when post hyperbitcoinization, because we'll have a completely different mindset. It takes humanity into a much more zen, if you will, state of evolution, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Pubby, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to jump in here. I agree to all of that, Knut. But you're saying we're not going to sell our Bitcoin. Of course, we will not sell our Bitcoin. We will never sell our Bitcoin, but we will end up with Bitcoin being the only money of. Well, I mean, we're talking in general, like we're talking whatever, like, you know, the 90% plus of what you have. But yeah, we won't sell it for anything US dollars or something, because we don't want to have that. And that's going to be gone. So we're not selling Bitcoin to profit. We are using it because it's the only thing that the supermarket will accept.
That's the same thing.
Well, then they accept Bitcoin. Then means you're using Bitcoin.
What I'm trying to say is that hodling is the most noble form of using. I tweeted the other day that if you spend your Bitcoin, you can change your life immensely. But if you don't spend your Bitcoin, you change the world, and that's what I believe. You want to improve your life, or you want to change the world. Maybe like most people will probably improve their lives, but I think philosophers will play a larger role in the future than they do now.
Canute, I'm on your side, my friend. I'm with you. Listen, you buy, and you pull that shit off the market. You pull that shit off the market. You're doing more for the world than anyone else before you. I think it's goddamn glorious. You buy your Bitcoin, and you pull it away from the world, and you let the rest of the world just slowly die. The fiat world, by the way, not the world in general.
But you realize that I'm only saying this to pump my bags and buy a Lambo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course. No, you're gonna buy the Swedish Lambo, which is the Koenigsegg, which is even more expensive. But
he looks
Puppy,
like the Koenigsegg guy.
right, okay. Puppy, so what you're saying is, yes, you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. You're gonna keep it forever. But Puppy, 10 years from now, when there is only Bitcoin as money, what money are you going to accept as payment for your work, your salary? What are you going to accept?
So listen, your first assumption is that Bitcoin is the only acceptable money in 10 years. What we call money.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Why would I accept anything else?
No. Well, it's not up to you what you accept. It's what the government will give you.
No, I'm not employed by the government. What do you mean? Like, I will not accept. I will not accept US
or the
dollars
government or other companies. Other companies will still be paying people in whatever it is. Maybe it's a CB, like a digital currency. I don't know. Maybe it's a.
So let's say this. Back when gold was money, which it was until 1933 or whatever, where you're no longer allowed to hold gold in US.
It wasn't
gold
money
was
then.
Money. Did you accept your salary as milk, cattle, stones, amber, or something? Gold was money.
Anders, where you going here? Who the fuck got paid in gold in 1930?
Yeah,
no one got paid in gold.
Yeah, so there was a claim on gold. There was a claim on gold, which was dollars, which could be exchanged for gold.
What could be here, man?
Even back then.
Sorry?
Yeah, it was a false claim. There were more receipts for gold in circulation than there was actual gold. And
I agree.
And that was true even before they dropped the gold standard, because the gold standard was just basically saying that if you turn in this receipt, you can get gold. And that's how banking was born. That's how bankers got rich. They realized that the odds that everyone will remove their gold from the vault at the same time those odds are low. So I might as well print out more receipts than I have gold in the vault, and hence fractional reserve banking. That's how it all started back in the East India days,
of course,
East India Company days in Europe, and these people that were good at printing receipts for stuff were enriched by it. And it's the same you see on coins. Coins usually have rough edges, right? Now they're manufactured rough edges, but that used to come from coin clipping. They
clipping coins, yeah.
So everything we've tried as money has been diluted somehow. And it seems like that is a property of money. And I say that Bitcoin is not money. It's not gold 2.0. It's not.
It's better.
It's nothing like that. It's a completely new thing, and we can't really compare it to what people did back when on the gold standard. That's not the comparison to make. That's just an analogy to like trying to explain it, but it's not a good analogy. A wallet, a Bitcoin wallet, is not a good analogy for a program that stores cryptographic keys. Gold 2.0 is not a good analogy. The internet 2.0 is not a good analogy. There are no good analogies. This is a completely different beast, and people have a hard time wrapping their heads around what it is. But a medium of exchange is not a medium of exchange is not very valuable, and it's not very hard to come up with. There are in-game currencies in every fucking phone game you have, and you can trade it with people. And that's given away for
free. That's a collectible,
everywhere.
But the supermarket will not accept it.
They do accept
supermarket
bonus checks. They accept bonus checks. They accept fiat currency. They accept all sorts of things. They have bonus programs for joining whatever. They like if you buy 9 of this, you get the 10th for free. Like they have all sorts of strange mediums of exchange. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But
there's one
that's
underlying...
not what Bitcoin is the revolution in. It's not a payment revolution at all. It doesn't matter. Payments are cheap, and we already solved the payments problem. What we didn't solve is store of value, and that's what it is.
Thank you, Knut. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, Puppy, you're gonna be quiet now. I get to say something now. Finally. I know we're not looking to solve the medium of exchange problem, but any of those things that you mentioned all have come back to being a claim on money. And the dollar notes that you guys rejected back 100 years ago, they were a claim on gold, and you could go and exchange it for gold, and nobody wanted to work for anything else but a claim of gold. Did they abuse that? Yes, absolutely they did. But guess what? You cannot abuse it with Bitcoin if you're using Lightning Network as a technology. It is the payments rail, you can call it, but it's still Bitcoin that is the money that you use. Bitcoin will be the only money, and Puppy, you're not going to work for any other money than Bitcoin, be it Lightning Network or whatever. It's going to be the only money. It's a winner takes all.
Okay, if the only reason that they used that type of money was that they didn't accept anything else, why was there widespread acceptance about going off the gold standard?
Oh,
well, that was forced by the politicians. People didn't have
a choice. But people could have said no, and they didn't.
So, in 1933 in US, it became illegal to own gold. The government said at gunpoint, give us your gold or you go to jail. That was not voluntary.
Well,
that was not voluntary. I mean, come on, that was government enforcement of a shitty money over a good money. Gold was being the good money. It was the sound money, fiat currency.
Yeah, but
they could hyperprint.
You just used this as an argument that people were using these things because they refused something else.
Yeah, so what did
they refuse?
We used dollar bills because it was a claim on gold back in the day.
Then we kept using them when they weren't.
That was not voluntary. Are you saying that using a dirty fiat is voluntary? It's enforced at gunpoint.
No, but you're saying that the only reason that they used them was that they didn't accept anything else. Like they did before. There were many types of money before the US dollar became the standard in the US to begin with. The banks had different currencies, and the states have different currencies.
All based on gold.
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Different banks could say this is our bank note for gold in our banks. It was all based on gold.
I'm not sure that the silver dollar was based on gold.
No, so that's what I said before. The only reason we use silver is because for small values, gold was too small. You had to get gold dust, and that was very impractical.
But my point. You drop the old currencies for a while. If we're discussing Bitcoin, the thing is that the more you get to know about it and the more you experience Bitcoin, the less you wish to spend them. Because this is what you got. Like say you acquired Bitcoin 5 years back. There's no way, and you acquired say 10% of what you owned went into Bitcoin 5 years back. There's no way in hell that the biggest pile of money you have right now is not your Bitcoin if you spent 10% of what you had 5 years back. That it has now become the lion's share of your total portfolio, because there was no better investment whatsoever. So you realize that you will never get an opportunity like that ever again. So you want to keep this.
Agree with that. Hey, Knut, there was a great argument also. Is MG Smith, let me put that on the screen again. Sweden, Denmark diplomatic relations hit an all-time low. But you know what? There's one solution to this, Knut, and that is you being in Miami, and we're going to do shots on this.
Beer.
And also Marty Sal is saying, only on THH will you get a sweet and Dane argue about U.S. money history. But all I'm saying is 10 years from now, you guys, both of you, will not be accepting anything else than Bitcoin. If somebody says, oh, Knut, I want to hire you for like a full week's of work, I'll give you a collectible item from a game. You say, I'm not playing that game. I'm not interested in that. Bitcoin is money.
You don't have to take. I usually speak in metaphors, and you shouldn't take me so literally on this.
Yes.
Because when I say trading card games and comic books, these things pop out of my head. But like I said, there are in-app currencies, and there are all sorts of tokens to exchange. Exchanging tokens is not a problem when you have the internet. I mean, mining Warcraft gold was an industry in China at one point in time, until the next patch came out. I mean, yeah.
So I, by the way, I did a video on this, I think 3.5 years ago, that where I state why cigarettes are money in prison.
I'll be back.
Okay, sure. Cool, thanks. Puppy, all right. You and I, now you don't have your Swedish wingman. Puppy, if Bitcoin has taken over as money of the world, let's look forward 10 years. Let's say Bitcoin has taken over as the money of the world because people are doing like you and I. We use our dirty fiat to buy Bitcoin. Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy is doing the same. Soon everyone else will be doing the same, and other currencies disappear, and we only have Bitcoin. What will you accept as salary if only Bitcoin has value? Because it is a vacuum, it's a vortex, it sucks in all value. Money is a winner takes all. What will you accept as salary 10 years from now, 15 years from now?
Okay, you need to take a certain course or lesson in learning how to ask a question in less than 30 seconds. Okay, so yeah, next time ask the question quickly. I can answer quickly as well. Right. So let me tell you, what it comes down to. Guess what? We don't necessarily know yet when you talk about what Bitcoin represents as either a store of value, medium of exchange. You don't have that knowledge yet. No one does. It's an open, honest question. When I'm talking with Knut about this, we don't know what that looks like. Your assumption is that we just turn it into hyperbitcoinization. Is you just take a few sats and you pay for a coffee. Well, that's not true, man. This year has really thrown Bitcoin on its head into what it means. So it's disingenuous. It's disingenuous you to say, oh, well, yeah. Do you want to be getting paid in Bitcoin? Well, yeah, in certain circumstances, yes, of course.
So no, okay. Are you saying I'm disingenuous? It's an honest question. If Bitcoin takes over as money of the world, what will you accept your salary?
Stop now. No. You haven't defined money. Yet what that means. You haven't defined what that means to take over in the world.
All store value. Let's say all store value. That's what we agree on, right?
Yeah, that's where the gold analogy is really useful, because the central bank still holds gold. So gold is still the world's reserve currency in a way.
I guess.
They got nothing. They hold gold and it has value. There is a dollar price on gold, but you cannot exchange your central bank fiat currency for gold. So it's just an asset they have. You can't really say it's backing it. It's you can't exchange it.
No. But what would you rather have? Like a vault full of say, how to put this? If you had the choice to, here's a 21 millionth of all the gold in the world, or a 21 millionth of all the dollars in the world, what would you rather have?
Absolutely gold, because it doesn't dilute as fast as fiat currency.
Yeah. And if you had both, what would you be using for buying coffee? The dollars. Right?
Well, Starbucks doesn't accept gold because it's very difficult to accept gold, but it will accept Bitcoin because it's very easy to accept Bitcoin.
Yeah. So but if you had gold and dollars, and it was easy to pay with gold, would you pay with dollars or gold? Gresham,
so
dollars.
Let me give the answer and explain.
To the conclusion here.
Hey,
first.
whoa. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, Gresham, you would use the dollars, right?
Of course.
And this doesn't stop just because Bitcoin is more valuable. It doesn't mean people will still use the stuff that they feel is less valuable to them.
Yeah.
And less valuable stuff will always be around. Right now, fiat currency is the cheapest commodity in the world to produce, because all you have to do is press a button and money printer goes brr digitally. Bitcoin is the hardest thing ever to produce, which means that all prices denominated in Bitcoin will go down over time, and all prices denominated in fiat currency will go up over time. So it's pretty obvious which one you would want to get rid of and which one you would want to hold on to, and that's all that matters. And you could do all.
I need to be allowed time to answer the question sooner or later. But finish. No, Knut, you can finish if there's more you want to say, and then I'll try to answer.
You just interrupted our guest, man. He was beating. Knut was beating you down like a drum. Knut was in here beating you down like a drum.
Knut asked me a question. He answered it for me. I still didn't have a chance to answer it, dude.
Okay, let's say, put it like this then. Let's say you hodl Bitcoin for just a hypothetical scenario. You hodl them for 20 years. Now you have enough money to buy a lifetime worth of Starbucks coffee coupons. So you make one trade, and you have all the coffee you want. All your coffee needs for the rest of your life done.
Yep.
That's one trade. It's not one for every cup of coffee. It's one. And that's what you would do even on the Lightning Network, because you only need to do one. And doing one saves you time, saves you effort, and you can keep the rest of your Bitcoin and not worry about them.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you're
good. I'm sorry.
You're running the show, man. You tell us.
Yeah, it's a Dane. It's easy.
Puppy, if you want to add something there, I mean, I'm asked questions. Am I allowed to answer at some stage? Or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
No.
So there were several. There were several. No. Okay. You want to say something, Puppy? Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Anders. Your turn. Thank
you. But it was many questions. It's over a long period of time to go back and remember all of them. Is pretty impossible, to be honest. But let's take the last one first. If I can do a one trade and buy unlimited coffee for the rest of my life, of course I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that, because Bitcoin can be subdivided indefinitely. So if I want a cup of coffee today, I will buy one cup of coffee today. I will not commit financially, which Bitcoin is money, to coffee the rest of my life. I don't even know if I'll live another 50 years. So I need to pass it on to my heirs. No,
I think you misinterpreted me a bit there. Sorry to say.
Okay. So that one is not even important for me. So let it slide. I want to go back to the other thing. And honestly, I wish you would let me answer it back then, because it's getting a little bit. It's like 5 minutes back, but it was about whether I would spend no, you said that they will, if there's gold and there's dollars, you would use the dollar first because I didn't consider it as good money. Absolutely agree. I would use the dollar first. And I think all three of us agree to that, actually. We use whatever is we consider the weaker currency first. What happens then, what you're describing is the same thing as I'm describing as hyperbitcoinization. That is Gresham's law, means that we first use all the shitty money and then we end up with the good money. The difference between me and you two is that I say once we have the good money, that will dominate. No one can, like, if US come and say we can now make central bank digital currencies, use them instead, nobody will want them. Once we're through hyper-Bitcoinization, money is a winner takes all game. So in the end, I'm left with only my Bitcoin. I am financially independent only in Bitcoin. I will only accept Bitcoin for anything. I'm not going to sell my time or resources or house or car for any public or non-public shitcoin.
Yeah, I'm trying to explore a deeper thing here with in layman's terms, but I think I need to flesh it out a bit further. Like right now, there are a lot of subscription models. You pay a monthly fee for a service of some kind, and there's also mortgages and loans, and you pay interest over time. And it's all based on the old system where we have inflation, and this is how the system, the consumerist mindset driven system works. We work and then we exchange that for stuff, and it's a perpetual cycle of that. But a hyper Bitcoinized world is a different beast, because it will be more focused on spending on actual productive stuff and actual investments. Like if you can save up money and buy a machine that manufactures you something for free for the rest of your life, so you don't have to spend any more than once on a thing, that's what it leads to. So everything, like Jeff Booth says, like everything is approaching a zero marginal cost right now. So Bitcoin is the only hint we have at how fooled we've been, because everything is not only cheap to produce, but almost everything is almost free. Transportation and manufacturing is basically a no-cost thing nowadays. And with like solar paneled robot cars, electric cars, you can transport stuff for free as well. And so the only thing that keeps us from having access to all the abundance that should exist already is our monetary system, which fools us by keeping prices stable. And there's no such thing as a stable price. Prices are supposed to go down because we get better at everything over time. Every tool that mankind ever invented was invented in order to save someone time. And in a truly free market, all the time saving adds up for everyone because of the division of labor. So in a hyper Bitcoinized world, a lot of stuff would be free. Like right now, computers, like internet stuff is free, sort of free. They take time because there's this nudging economy and whatever that stuff. But storing pictures is free. You don't need space on hard drives is almost free as well. Like you can get a lot of things are already free. What we're missing from the equation is stuff, which is basically also free. All of that has had the exact same curve as the computer parts and as the free stuff on the internet. Everything should be as free as like pictures or songs or movies or whatever that are basically free. The only thing that keeps things from being free is our slave master, the masters of us slaves, the central bankers, which keep us in our chains, chained to the old system. And a hyper Bitcoinized world will not be like what you say, buying soda at the supermarket will not even be a thing, because you'll have your soda. I promise you, it will be free, or very close to free. You won't need to spend that much Bitcoin. It's like you may spend 100 sats a year. 10
there
years.
we go.
But
we go. It's being used as payment, as medium of exchange.
But it's such a small part. You don't really get what I'm getting at.
I agree. So look, Bitcoin is going to be so valuable that yes, we're not buying a car with what Bitcoin. We're talking sats. I absolutely agree. I agree with everything you said, Knut, about that. Jeff Booth is saying that products basically go towards free because we get better. The only reason it doesn't today is because of a central bank money printer going brr. But what will never become free is whatever products or services that include human labor, because we are not going to work for free. So I agree with you, and I thank you for actually kind of proving me right here, because that's what I've been trying to say the whole time, that you will only spend 100 sats.
No. I said you might pay 100 sats a year in 10 years from now. I don't believe that's post-hyperbitcoinization. Post-hyperbitcoinization is a different scenario. That's when the world starts to work without like transactions will only be important transactions. Most people won't even engage in important transactions because everything will be available for them anyway.
And absolutely, Knut is right here, Anders. By the way, don't shame him into.
I love these comments, by the way.
No, listen, he's absolutely fucking right, because guess what? You know what Bitcoin will do for the world? You can transact. You can instead of you thinking that you had to get permission to send gold from one side of the world to the other and spend money on it, with Bitcoin, done in seconds. Absolutely glorious. It's beautiful.
I agree to that. That is not disagreeing with my point that Bitcoin will be the only money of the world 10, 15, 20 years from now, whatever is your time horizon.
Yeah, I can agree to that, but I think money will be a very different. The meaning of the word money will be very different than compared to now.
Knut, I'm with you, brother.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I got a bearish partner here on my podcast.
Dude.
I'll try to get rid of him.
You got a partner with shitcoiner tendencies here, like.
Puppy.
Trust me.
Puppy.
Hey,
you guys have like amended the point of view here in the end to come to the same point of view as me, as it is sats being used as money. It's both the store value, and it's the only thing that people will accept as payment for anything in the supermarket, for your house.
Yeah, but there won't be supermarkets. That's the point.
Okay, but you need food wherever you get your food from.
The food is free already. We just don't have access to it.
Why do you buy Bitcoin now, Knut, if you don't need any money in the future and everything is going to be free?
Because Bitcoin is what enables that future. If you don't get it, I don't have time to explain it to you.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, man, I just had to.
That's all right. That's all right, Knut. I want to have this one on the record. That money is, whenever we're done, Puppy, I'll give the word to you afterwards, but I want to have it clear what it is we disagree on. I am saying 10 years from now, be it 20 years from now, Bitcoin will be the only money. It will be the only accepted medium of exchange, because it's the only thing that truly has value. That's what I say, and you both say that Bitcoin will not be the only money, but other things will change hands and considered valuable by whoever you buy something from.
What I'm saying is that things are so effective right now that they're basically free, and this goes not only for internet stuff but also regular stuff. But we don't see that because we're living in a fraudulent system. And what I'm saying is, like, if there's like a supermarket, everything's free in that supermarket. There are still brand names, so the big companies can still advertise, so they can sell you for 100 sats Coca-Cola Lambo, but all the Coca-Cola bottles are free, and all the small stuff is free. Everything's free because the free market has made us so productive and so efficient that we don't need to worry about small stuff ever again.
Let me say something. Things will get very close to free, but it still takes energy to move them. I absolutely disagree that Bitcoin will not be money of the world and be used as the medium of exchange for salary and products and food and house. That's what I'm saying. And you guys saying that Bitcoin will not be the what is used for payment for houses and food, etc. Your argument, Knut, is it will be free.
In a post-hyper-Bitcoinized world, only investments will basically be the only trades left, but like exchanges left. This is so hard to explain though, because I'm thinking really long term about this. Like say in a supermarket today, they give out stuff for free, right? Try this sauce or try this whatever, because they have a brand to sell, a brand name to sell for something, and they have products on the shelves that they sell. They're only on the shelves and given away basically for free in order to get you to buy something else that is more expensive somewhere else. Like they give away. I got a coffee machine for free because they wanted to sell the coffee capsules for the coffee machine, for instance, and stuff like that.
Sell. Yeah, they want to sell the like that is a promotion, so you become a user and buyer of the product.
But the point is, companies will still want to sell something to someone. But what will be the payment? The small stuff will mainly be used as advertisement for bigger stuff.
That's fine.
This is so hard to explain.
I agree, but Knut, I agree with that. I honestly think we're not far from each other, because I agree a lot of things will be. I'll give the word to you in a second, Pubby, but I just want to answer this one. So Knut, what you said there just now, you said they will still want to sell you something. So my question to you is, what will be the payment for that little bit something, be it 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever? What will be the payment for that little bit something?
Okay, you're missing
Don't tell me it's free now, because you just said it's going to be paid for.
No, I'm saying that they will use small stuff in order to get you to buy bigger stuff. Now with inflationary currencies, it's the other way around. They give you big stuff for free in order to sell you more small stuff. So they sell you a printer really cheap, and then they sell the cartridges for that printer for overpriced. But in a post-hyper-Bitcoinization world, that will be the other way around. So they will give you the small stuff for free in order to sell you the big things, because the only things you would even consider buying are the big things, because you're disincentivized to spend money.
And what's the payment for the big thing? What do you pay with to buy the big thing that you just said there will be a payment for?
That is Bitcoin. But let me finish.
We agree.
No. That's okay. You can get a flock of people. You can give a flock of people stuff for free in order to get Elon Musk to buy a big thing.
Yep.
I'm talking way ahead in the future now, way past hyper-Bitcoinization. Like the small stuff will be used in order to influence someone that actually has the will to spend this Bitcoin on some type of investment. And even in the fiat world, this is happening. Like if you're an influencer, you get a lot of free stuff. If you're a celebrity, you get a lot of free stuff, because the brands want to sell something to someone else. And usually in this type of economy that we have now, that means selling a lot of small shit to a large amount of people. Hyper-Bitcoinization, everything is the other way around. all the free stuff is given out to all the mass-produced stuff is given out to the people in order for them to market something to the big guy in order to make an investment somehow. Yeah, I'm I'm just improvising here. I hope you realize that. And I might be completely wrong, but I think the point is, I think a hyper-Bitcoinized world is completely impossible for us to imagine. Because we're living under a completely different system. That's the main point.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with so many things you said there, and all I wanted was for you to say that once there is a payment for something, like we can agree a lot of things will be free or very cheap, but whenever there's a payment for something, you just acknowledge that would be Bitcoin. That's the only thing I've been saying the whole time. So we are actually agreeing. That's what I said. The money, the payment will be Bitcoin. That's what I said. Yeah, you guys disagreed, but now you agree.
No. Yeah, but a lot. Yes, we agree on that point. I just believe that will be very few transactions. In comparison,
that's a different discussion.
It's the same discussion in a way.
Yes, because it is.
For a normal person. A normal person will not spend Bitcoin on stuff. That's my point.
It's absolutely the same. Listen, it's absolutely the same discussion. And that's disingenuous because I guarantee. Listen, to spend Bitcoin now, you're a fucking fool. You are a.
I'm not talking about now, Pubby. I'm talking when Bitcoin has taken over.
Listen, when it's taken over, same thing. That's my point. Same thing. Whatever you call it, taking over. The one thing about
what are you going to spend then? When Bitcoin, look, we're looking at the price right now. It's taking over as money of the world. It's going to, infinity or whatever. No. US dollar will collapse.
Okay. Can you slow down? Slow down for a minute. Slow down.
Pubby,
I'll tell you.
Start making sense, man.
Listen, at the end of the day, guess what? People will turn in their Bitcoin for some, I guess, fiat, unfortunately. But it's not today, man. It is not today. It's not today.
Did you just say that eventually we'll turn in our Bitcoin for dollars or for fiat, but it's not today?
Dumbasses will. Dumbasses will turn it in. Yeah.
Okay.
They will. I hope they don't, because I tell you what, man. I tell you what, going forward,
wrestling at the Miami conference. Make it happen.
Look, the only thing I want to do with Knut is have some drinks and listen to him singing his own songs. And Knut, for this Toxic Happy Hour to end well, after all this discussion, you absolutely have to play a song for us because we all love it, including Pubby and me. Pubby calling me disingenuous. Pubby, I agree.
Disingenuous.
I'm sorry, it's my second language.
I know. I forgive you.
Gay wrestling at the Miami conference. What is this crowd that is watching this?
It's the sick people are watching the Toxic Happy Hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, but Pubby, let's hang on to that one, because so far now, I claim Knut agrees with me, because he says when there's a payment, it's Bitcoin. Then we can talk about, Knut says it's not very often. Sure, I'm not going to argue against that, but he agreed with me that when money changes hand, when there is a payment, it's Bitcoin. So Knut actually, after 1 hour of discussion, I would claim has come to agree with me.
No, well, there can still be exchanges. Why would you, like, Bitcoin is a voluntary system. You can't force people to exchange something that they want, that they don't want to exchange. No one will want to exchange Bitcoin because they go up in value. They will want to exchange other things. That's what Gresham's law says.
So what you No, what Gresham Law says is that in the end, the strongest money become the money to store value and to be used as medium of exchange. And you
Gresham's
guys
law
don't deny
describes
that.
the process, and the process.
Oh.
If you have a money that is worth more than everything else, then that's people will exchange everything else before they exchange that type of money. So everything else, and then the Bitcoin. So you need to exchange everything else first, including your house, your car, your wife, whatever, before you sell your Bitcoins.
Knut, don't say that you will sell your wife before your Bitcoin. Don't. You didn't mean that.
It's a tough choice. I give you that.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. Look,
she wasn't happy. She wasn't happy about it, but she understands.
How much for the wife? Where's that auction place that Fractal Encrypt sell his art? Yeah. Anyway, next subject.
No, but I would like that we reach to some kind of consensus. I believe Knut, you said that when there's a payment, it's Bitcoin. That's the only thing I said. That's what I claim. So I believe you agree with me then, which I'm happy for. That's
investment.
Sorry.
I believe I said investment.
Yes.
When you want to do a really good investment, then you might use your Bitcoin. But in order for you to do that investment, it will have to be. You will have to think that that investment will give you more returns than your Bitcoins will over time.
What will that return be measured in?
That's a very good question.
Well, you just said that you believe.
Oh.
Yeah, you said it will. You believe if it has a better return than your Bitcoin. So obviously, we're measuring the return in Bitcoin. But yeah, Pubby, I'll give the word to you.
Man, what can you say on this day, for example? I love for the fact our chat is lit, fucking lit right now. Can't get away from the fact that you know what, they follow us. I will say, moving forward, you have to talk to, I guess, the rest of us in the sense of Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000 in 2 months, then $1 million. But I'm trying to figure out where you are looking at it going.
Yeah. Let me try and explain it the way I see it. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure we agree if we can just get the description right. So I agree with you on this one. Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000. That may take 2 months. Then it's going to go to 1 million. And then in the end, it will further collapse and nobody want to touch US dollar or any of the dirty fiat currencies. But there will still there will always be a need for a money that can act as a medium of exchange that you can pay for whenever you want to buy something. We can argue that all products is going to be free, but as long as human labor is involved, you're not going to sell your time for free. There's always going to be a price for a lot of goods and services, especially services. And what I'm saying is that because we already spent, like Knut explained with Gresham's law, that we first spent all the weak money. You do that to get rid of the weak money. You don't want to get the weak money back. You will end up with only one money. The strongest money is what Gresham's law say. Not that we have to say whatever he says is correct, but we're talking about the arguments for it. We need to be able to argue. You end up with having only Bitcoin, and you're not going to sell your time, which means salary, for anything else, because everything else is crashing. You're not going to sell your time for dollars.
Of course not.
So, Pubby, I know we've gone on maybe longer than you have work tomorrow, Puppy, if time wise it's getting late from you, you know, you're not imprisoned on Toxic Happy Hour. It's up to you. We got Knut back here. Thanks, Knut.
Knut's back.
Yeah, sorry for leaving so abruptly, but I had to take that phone call.
Knut, thanks for joining, man. And you don't have to apologize because you got the invitation, and we just asked for 5-10 minutes, and you have given us so much more. I think maybe now, no, really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you finally came around and said that Bitcoin was what would be exchanged when there's a payment for something. That's all I asked for.
I like to put a disclaimer on everything I said, because as usual, like what drives me to do these Bitcoin content things is like to get thought processes going in other people's brains. So it's not necessarily what I think. It's not necessarily what I play the devil's advocate against Anders here, and I apologize for that, Anders. But then again,
no, don't apologize.
It's mainly to get people's brains worrying, or like not worrying, but to get people's brains going on these topics, because thinking about these things can be very rewarding, and you can get a lot of new thoughts from just diving down the rabbit hole. So that's my angle, and that's my contribution, I guess.
It's a phenomenal contribution, Knut, to be honest. And you know, we got to throw arguments at it. And I got to tell you, I think I've never seen the chat enjoy the beef or discussion as much as this one, because it's been a little bit different. We haven't just been agreeing on everything. I have been disagreeing with you and Puppy. Well, or you have been disagreeing with me. I said Bitcoin is the only thing that will be used as for payment whenever Bitcoin has taken over as money of the world, 10, 15 years, whatever from now. I'm glad that Knut came around. Now I only have Puppy left to convince.
I think you both have a crush on me. It is just manifesting itself in very different ways. That's what we've been witnessing here tonight.
This is true. You heard it here on Toxic Happy Hour. Both Puppy and Anders Danish has a man crush or bromance on Knut for the intelligent content and great arguments. Well, I mean, arguments at least. And then for the guitars, the guitar playing. Should we? Okay, so Sean just joined now saying, "What's up, motherfuckers?" Well, you got to go back and see this one on Rewind, brother, because we have been discussing very heavily, let's put it that way, trending towards beef. Puppy's been calling me disingenuous. As Pedro says, we all have a crush on Knut. It's Sasquatch, absolutely correct. I would love to hear a song from Knut. Puppy, I don't know if you want to add anything here. I still love you, my brother, Puppy. I love you.
Sorry, guys. I don't have time to play a song now, unfortunately. I'll have to. We'll have to wait till another time. I need to make another bunch of phone calls here. So
okay. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for inviting me. Always a pleasure, as you know, and see you in Miami.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I hope to see you in Miami. Thank you very much, Knut. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Right.
Ciao, Bella.
All right. Yeah. There we go. So, Puppy, you probably need to get some sleep soon, if I'm guessing correct, because you got work tomorrow.
No, good way, man. It's a good show, man. Dude, we had a lot of people in there. There's like 40 or 50 people.
Yeah. We're still live, just so you know.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But Puppy, I will say, so Knut came around and said whenever there's a payment for something, it will be Bitcoin. So do you agree now with me and Knut? Knut came around, or what's your take?
What's a payment? I don't understand that part.
All right. Puppy, let's
payment. No, you have to understand, man. A payment is like absolutely new to the space. Think of this. Think of this for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
What is a fucking payment to you? What is a payment? I don't know.
Right. Well, it's exchanging money for a goods or service. But hey, listen.
Yeah, got that part. That's the obvious part. Come on, that's the obvious part.
Puppy, honestly, I can hear you. I think I want to send you to no, listen. Yeah, I think we should end the stream. Someone said something about a Jitsi meet link. We could, meet up without streaming it and have a loving, caring discussion. But I know you need to go to bed at some stage. You have work in the morning.
Yep.
But okay. Do you have time to hang out in? Anyways, let's do the outro here, and we'll do another Toxic Happy Hour tomorrow. Am I right, Puppy?
Yep, we're good. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So on that note, don't store more value in dirty fiat currency than you can afford to lose, because it is a built-in policy that they destroy the value of your savings. So careful storing value there and thinking you have it in the future, because you don't when it comes to dirty fiat currency like dollar, euro, etc. On that note, thank you everyone for watching and participating in the chat. It was great. Thanks. See you on the next one, which is tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.